Hey there, my name is Dr. Raj Brar. I go by Raj, DPT, Doctor of Physical Therapy, and owner at 3CB Performance. So today's topic, I'll be going over some strategies to help you sleep better. So first thing is looking at kind of some general aspects to help you sleep better. And sleeping better is going to just make everything else much better. I used to have so many issues sleeping, especially in school. And I've really drilled down to things that work. And thankfully I had a rotation with an individual, his name's Seth Oberst, who actually helped me with a lot of these things as well. So firstly, in general, it's about not just about quantity, it's about quality of sleep. How deep are you actually sleeping? It's not simply about, 8 hours. You could get 8 hours, but be tossing and turning, and it's not going to be a good night of sleep, okay? So it's about quantity and quality. Second aspect, key thing when it comes to quality is timing. You want to try to have the same bedtime and wake up time every day. I know it's really difficult on weekends, but it's going to make such a big difference because your body's system, your endocrine system, your circadian rhythms adapt based on that. And so you're going to have kind of an internal alarm clock and for rising or going to sleep that naturally becomes a habit and makes things so much easier. And the last aspect here is it's your sleep cycle. So I use an app called Sleep Cycle, and that wakes me up when I'm in a lighter part of my sleep. So have you ever been kind of woken up suddenly and you kind of been jarred for the rest of the day, even though you might have slept a high quantity and quality? If you get woken up during that sleep, that deep sleep period, it's very jarring for your system, and it's going to make you a little more groggy and fatigued throughout the day. Another aspect here is doing some activity, exercise, whatever of your choice. It's going to help with stress, it's going to help with systemic regulation of your metabolic, your endocrine, pretty much every system. And then of course it's going to just make you more tired because you're expending energy, okay? And then secondly, when it comes to systemic regulation or dysregulation is nutrition. Nutrition again is going to have a big impact on metabolic endocrine regulation, which plays a big part in stress, which plays a big part in all your hormones and all those things. It's going to help you sleep. So lastly, speaking of stress is pretty much the biggest killer of sleep that I've seen. That's why I focus so much on it. That's why I always try to have these stress relief techniques. And so reducing stress, light sleep is going to make sleep better, and then it's going to make you less susceptible to more stress. It's going to break what I call is a vicious cycle. So check out more of my techniques on that if you're interested. It's a big topic. So the way I do this, let's start with the start of the day. I always say I try to have a solid AM routine. The reason for that is this. When you get out of bed, I'd like to have almost like an autopilot series of events where you can harness some of your body's kind of morning cortisol release. Your metabolic system is kickstarting you for the day. So I want to get the day going effectively. I want to get some things done. Start a good positive reinforcement loop where I'm starting to expend some energy, starting to feel good about myself. And a part of that AM routine is also I'll take a morning walk, especially when it's sunny, because morning light has been shown to actually reset some of your circadian rhythms, which affect that sleep cycle as well. So that's something that's critical. I have a video on that if you want to check that out. Secondly, are sleep agitators. There's two major ones here. The first one is caffeine. Caffeine is going to agitate sleep because it leads to a cortisol release, which is you consider the stress hormone, which then affects all of our systems. And normally throughout the day, what happens is in the morning you have a huge cortisol spike, and then it kind of decreases over time. So then if you're supplementing that throughout the day, it's going to affect your sleep at the end of the day. And the rule of thumb is no caffeine prior to 6 hours before sleep. So try that. The other aspect of a sleep agitator in the evening time is blue light. So blue light is pretty much like daylight, and it makes you very, very alert, which is great during the day, but at night when you're trying to get some sleep, obviously it's going to mess with your sleep. And the problem with blue light here is blue light gets emitted from electronics. So when you're at home, you're on your phone, you're watching TV, that's almost like being out in the sun. It's very stimulating for your system and it disrupts your sleep. So what I recommend are blue blocker glasses, and I wear them every night pretty much after I get home, and they're gonna mitigate that blue light. And I know iPhones now, or I think all phones now have that night mode. Essentially what that's doing is getting rid of that blue light. So those are two things I do to reduce sleep agitation. And then lastly, I have my PM routine. This starts normally about 30 minutes before bed. I'll do some journaling, I'll do some reflections, then I'll write down my goals for the next morning. I try to get small tasks done as part of this AM routine, so I'll write that down the night before, just so I'm not thinking about them while I'm in bed or something like that. And then after that, I'll get all my self-care, brushing, flossing, washing the face, all that stuff done. And I try to be in bed about 15 minutes before I set the alarm on my sleep cycle app, because the average person takes about 14 minutes or so to get to bed. So there's one caveat to this. If there's not a sports game going on until usually Lakers or Dodgers around 10 or so, I'll bump up my journaling and goal activities and self-care to about an hour before I want to get in bed, and I'll give myself about 30 minutes to do some reading in bed. Just because I like to read at nighttime, it just gives me that sense of, just calm and comfort before bed. Speaking of calm and comfort, you want your room to be as comfortable as possible, and you also want it to be separated from your normal day-to-day life. So in terms of comfort, you want a comfortable mattress, you want the temperature to be ideal, and in terms of separating it from your day-to-day life, no electronics. I only have my Kindle for the reading, and my phone is not even close to me. I just have it in the room for the alarm clock on the app. No electronics, no TV. Secondly, if you're having trouble sleeping, get out of your bed and go walk around. You don't want to start associating your bed with not being able to sleep. Something that happened to me throughout college, and I used to have such serious issues with that. And so those are some of the main things you can utilize to help you sleep better. So try some of these things out. I know there's a lot there, but try implementing them, right? And I think once you start to see just how much better you're sleeping and how you feel, you're going to want to do all of them. And it's going to be like you're living a new life full of energy, not fatigued, less stress. Like I said, sleep makes everything else better. Let me know how it goes. I look forward to hearing from you.